Welcome back to Mewni Mayhem on the Roundtable. I'm your host, Oshrik Vox, and Season 3, A Star vs. the Forces of Evil is less than a week away from us, and it's physically impossible for me to contain my excitement. I don't know if you guys relate, but I'm ready to do somersaults. While we're finally starting to get the descriptions for the episode titles airing in this 2-week bomb, quite a few things about the season are shrouded in mystery, definitely for the better. Like, how exactly is Glossaric going to be revived? Is Star going to rebound with Oscar or Tom? And the question I think people care just a little bit more than shipping wars: who on Mewni is our Season 3 main villain? The previous 2 seasons of this wonderful show has had Ludo as our recurring antagonist. If you want to call him that, sure, he was an annoyance to start first, but then they began to focus on him consistently, and we realized he's not evil, he's just trying to get respect through the wrong way. We began to feel for the dude, and now Star has thrown him through the abyss. So it may be a little bit until we see him again. We also had Miss Heinous and her sidekicks Gemini and Rassicor, but they appeared very sparingly. Not exactly top level threats. Beyond them, our main antagonist was Toffee, who didn't appear every single episode but did have a consistent presence throughout the season. We knew Toffee was the one inside Ludo's wand whispering to him. While his speaking role didn't make a comeback until the episode The Hard Way, he technically was in every episode Ludo appeared in throughout Season 2. He was the Season 2 main villain. However, whether or not you want to chalk it up to pacing or Darren Nefsey wanting to do a bait and switch, it looks like Toffee's out. While I find it hard to believe he's gone for good, or even permanently dead if you want the details, I do think the show's gonna take the focus off of Toffee for a bit, maybe even the whole season. With Toffee gone, we need a new villain taking his place, not only in the metaphorical sense, but in a literal sense in the case of the theme song. We all know and greatly adore the new visuals that accompany the iconic theme song of the series. Yet, there's a few bits that have become outdated only 4 episodes in. Those few tidbits are Star's cleaved wand and the antagonist shot that sports a Toffee-possessed Ludo, complete with a half wand piece embedded in his hand. Now, the day before Battle for Mewni premiered, an interview with Star's voice actress, the wonderful Eden Shear, was posted online, and attached in the article was a snapshot of the opening, but Star wasn't sporting her cleaved wand, but her latest and greatest one she created in the climax of the episode Toffee. Oops, early spoilers. That indicated that effective immediately, the next episode will have a more updated opening sequence with Star's new wand, and assumably, a new antagonist in place of Toffee Ludo. So I know the first thing that may pop into your head is Eclipsa. Eclipsa is the new main antagonist, and I'm not gonna argue, you're probably right. After all, they are in Romulus' dimension during this little scene, where we know Eclipsa was encased for hundreds of years, and when they sprint past the crystal Eclipsa was encased in, it was just a silhouette. But a lot of people, me included, believed this crystal was actually empty, and the outline of Eclipsa remained intact. It's very possible the updated version of this opening will reflect Eclipsa's freedom, by having the crystal completely shattered as the Queen of Darkness awaits Star and Marco, which would explain Star's confident smirk, assuming she continues to hit off with Eclipsa. But there's one thing I have issue with. Eclipsa in the antagonist spot would ruin the whole "is she truly evil" dilemma the show has been presenting, and seemingly will continue to present. And honestly, I just find it more compelling if she was an antagonist, but not the main antagonist, which caused me to wonder, who would Eclipsa be in cahoots with? Someone who would be a threat even if she necessarily isn't. Well, her husband. That's right. What if the main antagonist, or better words, true villain of Season 3, is this handsome fellow right here in Eclipsa's tapestry? They've made a huge deal out of Eclipsa abandoning Mewni for her monster love, and looking at this tapestry, he doesn't look like any old chump. But we also know Mewni tapestries exaggerate the truth, as evident with Moon facing off of Toffee's depiction compared to the actual events. I actually think it'd be hilarious if Eclipsa's husband was portrayed as this ripped, all-powerful demon, and then was just really small and nerdy, but still red. That part's important. Eclipsa's husband being the true villain of the season would bring a complex dynamic between her and Star, because Star likely feels strongly about how it feels to be in love with someone and have it frowned upon, forbidden. Eclipsa's just supporting the one she loves, and his acts may only be evil in the eyes of Mewni, but could benefit monsters everywhere, similar to Toffee. That is, if he has a plan beyond make humans pay and suffer. Star can't take Eclipsa down because Eclipsa isn't the one committing these acts against Mewni. Her husband would be. Perhaps her monster husband was imprisoned or even killed, and she's trying to free or resurrect him, but everything he does from there on out is free game, putting Eclipsa in the clear, but Star in the wrong for knowing Eclipsa's endgame in the first place. It's also important to note the mid-season finale is titled Monster Bash, which, if there is a time for a monster antagonist to rise, that'd be the most opportune. Maybe this is the episode where said monster husbando would be unleashed into the world. Again, we're less than a week away from the series' triumphant return, and we'll find out if this theory is correct or if Eclipsa will be acting alone as the main antagonist. I'll just find it disappointing for monster love isn't relevant to the story because there better putting up their forbidden love to be a huge deal, and I don't think she'd be dubbed the Queen of Darkness if her actions didn't have serious negative consequences. But as always, these are just my thoughts, and I'd love to hear yours. How do you feel about this theory? Do you too share a desire to see a big buff flaming hot Cheeto Puff as Star's new adversary? Comment your ideas below, or tweet them to me at AwestruckVox. You can also follow us for updates and shenanigans on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Roundtable Vids. We're also on Snapchat at RoundtableYT. If you want to be more social, you can join our Discord, download our official Amino app for iOS and Android, and if you want to support us in these trying times with YouTube, consider supporting us on Patreon. Links to everything in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, please throw it a like, share it, and if you're new here, hit that subscribe button, it really helps us out. Turn on that bell for notifications so you can keep up to date on all things Star. I hope you have a beautiful day, and AwestruckVox signing out. Get ready, monster loves.